Hey y'all, it's kind of windy outside, so I'm not going to do an outside video right now. I was going to show you the sheep, but instead I'm going to read you this book. It's called Farmer Brown Shears His Sheep, a yarn about wool. And I like this book because it tells all the steps of how you get the yarn off the sheep all the way to knitting something, like I showed you in the other video of my scarf and my gloves. So up here is the title, Farmer Brown Shears His Sheep. And down here it tells us the author's name, the authors who wrote the words. The author's name is Teri Sloat. And it also tells us the illustrator's name, the illustrators who drew the pictures, Nadine Bernard Westcott. So here's Farmer Brown, and here's his kitchen. And I want you to look out his kitchen window. What do you see? I see 4 sheep. At my house, when I look out my kitchen window, sometimes I see 5, 6, 7, or 8 sheep. My sheep have different colors. These sheep are all white. I have some white sheep, but I also have some black sheep and a brown sheep. And I also have a sheep that has spots with different colors. Farmer Brown was shearing sheep, piling up a snowy heap of wool that filled his shed knee deep. Clip, clip, buzz, buzz, he took their wool and left them fuzz. He filled his bags up one by one with fleece, but when his work was done, clouds had covered up the sun. The sheep saw all their wool in sacks. "Baa!" they cried. "We want it back." Soon the farmer's sheep were shivering. They followed him. He was delivering all their wool to Mr. Green. I wonder what Mr. Green is going to do with all that wool. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bags. That's quite a bit of wool. Who washed it out and combed it clean. So the first thing you do after you shear your sheep is you kind of pick through all the yucky parts of the wool, and then you wash it to get all the dirt out of it. And then you actually card it or comb it. These are cards, hand cards. Combs are a different tool, and I'll show you real cards and combs in another video. Comb, pull, he cleaned and carded all their wool. Their fleece made such a fluffy stack. "Baa!" they cried, "we want it back." The sheep went running, cold and shaking, behind the farmer. He was taking all their wool to Mr. Peel. And Farmer Brown's riding a bicycle to deliver his wool. I ride around on an ATV on my farm. I don't ride a bicycle. So Mr. Peel, who owned the finest spinning wheel, twist, hum, what had their fluffy fleece become? What does it become when a spinning wheel spins the wool? It becomes yarn. From fleece to yarn, it stretched and changed. "Baa!" they cried, "our wool looks strange." Chilly sheep with goosebumps crying rode right behind the farmer flying down the road to Mrs. Mueller. Now that we have yarn, what's Mrs. Mueller gonna do? She has a big operation going on here. She has different colored yarn everywhere. She has fans drying it and drying racks drying it. Mrs. Mueller, who changed the yarn from white to color. Dip, dye, drip, dry. The yarn grew bright before her eyes. And while it dried upon the rack, one sheep cried, "Baa! Let's take it back." See, I'm trying to get it. Now, my sheep don't try to get their wool back. After I give them a haircut, they seem to be happy. They like to run around and jump and have fun. "What's this?" a farmer asked his sheep. "You're tangled up from head to feet. You're shivering cold and turning blue." So back to Farmer Brown's they flew. How's Farmer Brown going to fix this? He found his favorite place to sit. Then Farmer Brown began to knit. Knit, purl, knit, purl. The farmer's fingers looped and twirled. Crowded on the porch together, trembling in the nippy weather, they watched him knit. And when he quit, he put a sweater on to fit each sheep, and then he buttoned it. So let's look at each sheep. This one got a pink sweater, a blue sweater, orange, purple, yellow, green, and orange. Or maybe red. It's sort of a red color. The sheep grew nice and warm again in brightly colored cardigans, in patterns made of red and green and all the colors in between. You can dye wool any color you want. Now each year come shearing time, the sheep wait eagerly in line to feel the clip and hear the buzz and wear bright sweaters over fuzz. The end. I love that book, and I hope that you did too. So in other videos, I'm going to show you all the different tools that I have, just like Farmer Brown, and I'm going to show you how I make yarn out of the wool.